What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Diggs Gaming. Welcome back to Off Hunting's Gaming News. I am by myself tonight, but that's okay. Got a lot of stuff that we need to talk about. Got a lot of updates on some games that are going to be coming out soon and some new games that were just announced. Let's jump right in with news that The Rock has confirmed that he's working on a video game-based movie, but he won't say what franchise it is. The only thing that he's saying is it's a big franchise. This is pretty interesting. Now, The Rock has starred in video game-based movies before. He starred in Doom, which, let's be honest, that was terrible. But, I mean, this is pretty interesting. And what could it be? What video game franchise are they turning into a movie now that he's starring in? You know, one thing I do want to see, I think he could make a pretty good Kratos. I think if he did a God of War movie, he would fit the role of Kratos just perfectly. But I don't know if that's it or not. This is interesting. We'll see what happens, but I would not get your hopes up. I mean, video game-based movies have been, well, terrible. Moving on to news about Lucid Games, which, for those of you that don't know, Lucid Games worked on Destruction All-Stars, which it wasn't necessarily a bad game. It was just not as good as it could have been. Destruction All-Stars, it was a game that had potential, just could not deliver. And Lucid Games afterwards, they were put on the Twisted Metal reboot, but then they were taken off the project and that was given to another studio, possibly Firesprite. Well, now there's a rumor going around that they are possibly working on a Motorstorm revival, and that's why they were taken off the Twisted Metal reboot, which, okay. So Motorstorm was a PlayStation 3 launch day title, and it actually came bundled in with when they released the 80 gigabyte PlayStation 3. It came bundled in with that. So this would be interesting to see a new Motorstorm game. The report is saying that Sony wants basically another racing game to go along with Gran Turismo. And this could be true. This could not be. It's a rumor. I just thought I'd put it out there. Again, Lucid Games could be working on a Motorstorm revival, but we shall see. Moving on to Microsoft. Microsoft had released the earnings from Q2 of 2022. So that would be, I believe, September to December, because the fiscal year starts, I believe, in July. So they released those earnings and everything is up. Everything from Windows, everything from Xbox, everything is up for Microsoft, which that is really, really good for Microsoft. And it can only go up from here. After all, they just announced that they are going to purchase Activision. They still had just purchased Bethesda. They're going to have some games coming out later this year. So for the meantime, Microsoft, it's good that everything's going up and it can only continue to go up from here. So nice things to hear about Microsoft. Really good things to hear. Moving on to Pokemon news. Pokemon Legends Arceus has come out. I have played the game and I am loving it. I absolutely love this game. It's a change from the Pokemon formula. It is so good. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not. But if you want to get this game, go get this game. You are not going to be disappointed. It's exactly what we thought it was going to be. I mean, this is just a really, really good game. Now, I have heard some complaints on Twitter about the fact that it's still the Pokemon style graphics, which people say is outdated, that should be changed. Pokemon's got its own unique style. Why would you change that? Come on, not every game has to look the same. If it did, it gets kind of boring. That's why some games have a unique look to them, and Pokemon's one of those games that just has a unique look to them. I mean, I wouldn't change it. That's just me. But this is really an interesting game because, you know, in other Pokemon games, you just have to capture the specific Pokemon once. Well, in this game, it makes it an incentive for you to capture as many Pokemon as you can, even those of the same kind, the same species. You're going to want to capture over and over again. And that is really, really interesting. I absolutely love it. I'm loving the open world aspect of it. I'm loving the fact that you don't have to send your Pokemon out just to try to capture some wild Pokemon. I love how different Pokemon are in the wild. This is a really, really good game. And again, if you are a Pokemon fan that has been looking whether to get this game or not, get this game. It is really good, and it's not going to waste any of your time. This is a really good game. Moving on to some game announcements. First of all, Respawn has announced that they are working on 3 Star Wars games. I said that. 3 Star Wars games. One is a Star Wars Jedi game, so that's possibly a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. One is a first-person shooter game, which in the Star Wars universe, that would work very, very well. And another is a strategy game. Now, the strategy game, they are not developing that. They're only publishing that game. That game is being developed by Bit Reactor. Now, to go back to some of these games, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was a really good game. Respawn really helped EA out after the debacle that was Battlefront not having a lot of content and Battlefront 2 having the microtransactions. With Jedi Fallen Order, that was exactly what EA needed to prove they could make a decent Star Wars game. And it was a very, very good game. And if it is this Star Wars Jedi game, if it is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, then I'm all for it. I am all for it. I absolutely like this game. I believe it does deserve a sequel. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Now, as for the first-person shooter game, I did say that in the Star Wars universe, this would work just fine. And yeah, I think this would be a very, very, very good game. I think that this is a game that could be better than the sequel to Fallen Order. Yeah, I said it. I think it could be because with the right team and Respawn being the studio that it has been, I think they could make it work. I really think they could make a great game out of a first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. Now, the strategy game, again, they're only publishing that. They are not developing it. It's Bit Reactor that's developing it. We'll see. I'm not so sure if that's going to work or not, but you know what? I'm willing to see how this goes. So Respawn working on 3 Star Wars games. 2, they are developing themselves. 1, they are publishing with Bit Reactor making that. Moving on to Blizzard. Blizzard is working on a new survival IP, and wow. So Blizzard is working on a new IP. They announced this a week after Microsoft had decided to buy Activision Blizzard. Now, Blizzard has been working on this for a while now. This isn't something where as soon as this got announced, they said, oh, we're just going to work on a new IP. Let's start right now. No, they have been working on this for a while. They just announced it right now. And, you know, I'm all for it because Blizzard hasn't really made a new IP in a while. They did Overwatch, but, you know, I want to see what they can do with a new IP. Something like this, I think would really, really be good for them. And I think they could pull this off. I think this could be something to get excited about. Now, we know nothing about what really this is. All we know is that it's a new survival IP, which is fine. That's all we need right now. And if this does come out on consoles, I would expect it to be an Xbox exclusive, but probably people are mainly going to play this on a PC, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But again, Blizzard developing a new survival IP, yeah, I'm all for it. And a little bit of a surprise, Crysis 4 has been announced to be in development. Wow, the Crysis series is coming back. That's really interesting. Now, this is a franchise that hasn't had a new game since the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. And this was designed to be a quote-unquote Halo killer, but of course, I mean, nothing's ever going to be a Halo killer, which is fine. I mean, Crysis, it was a decent franchise. Actually, it was better than decent. It was a pretty good franchise. I mean, it had a dedicated fan base. People really liked the games. And I'm not shocked that it's getting a new game because I feel like people really did like these games. And I want to see how they do with this game with the times that have changed between Crysis 3 and now Crysis 4. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Going to be interesting to see how this game goes through its development. Yeah, Crysis 4 in development. 2 of 2022's biggest games, Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West, have gone gold. Both of these games are locked in to their release dates. Horizon Forbidden West is being released February 18th, while Elden Ring is being released February 25th. These games are literally within a week of each other, and these are 2 of the most hyped games this year. And these are 2 games that could possibly be in contention for Game of the Year. That's how big these games are. Let's start with Elden Ring. Elden Ring, that's From Software's latest game with help from George R.R. Martin, the author of the Game of Thrones books. This is absolutely 100% one of the most hyped games I have seen in the last decade. People are so excited for this. And after seeing the gameplay demo, you will understand why. Elden Ring, this just looks like it's going to be the ultimate From Software game. It really does. And I'm just not shocked that people are so excited about this. Meanwhile, Horizon Forbidden West, after the absolutely wonderful Horizon Zero Dawn from Guerrilla, now you got Horizon Forbidden West, which just looks like it's going to take Horizon to the next level. And that's exactly what you want to see from a sequel. And again, these are two of the most hyped games this year that I have seen in a long time. And they were both releasing within a week of each other. That's absolutely insane. Now, Horizon Forbidden West, I have pre-ordered. I'm going to wait to get Elden Ring because I just don't want to spend all my money on video games because it's easy to do with all the games that we have coming out really in the next few months. It's just insane. And with these two games, you know they're going to sell well. You know people are going to be playing them, and you know they're going to end up being really good. And Horizon Forbidden West, I just cannot wait to get my hands on it. And I know people feel that way about Elden Ring too. It's just, I mean, it's just amazing that these two games are releasing within a week of each other. And the fact is, I mean, we're talking about two games that are going to sell ridiculously. They are probably going to be critically acclaimed, and that are probably going to be up for Game of the Year. And it's just amazing. It really is. And our last bit of news is about the Halo TV series. Now, we got a premiere date for Halo TV series that's coming to Paramount Plus. It's going to be March 24th. We also got a trailer for it that played during halftime of the conference championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals. And you know what? I think they got Master Chief just right. I think he looks exactly how he looks in the games. But whether this is going to be good or not, I just don't know. And the reason I just don't know is because with something like this, I mean, it's a hit or miss. And really, with Halo, it seems like it could be a good TV show, but it's got to be done by the right people. And I don't really know if this is going to be a good show. I really don't. It's just something that I don't know if it's going to capture the feel of Halo, and I can't really speak to that because I've never played a Halo game. I wish JoJo or Meliodas were here. I'll try to get their opinion if they're back for gaming news next week, but for me, I just don't know if this is going to work. I just don't know if this is going to be good. And I mean, we're going to have to wait to find out, and we don't have to wait too much longer, less than 2 months, March 24th, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that was the gaming news for this week. I am Diggs Gaming, and I will see you guys next time.